so here are some examples. This one obviously is a completed example. This one is kind of halfway through, well, not halfway, like a quarter of the way through. And then of course, ta-da, nothing. So I'm gonna show you how to take a magazine, some glue, some tape, really simple materials to build a bowl like this. The first thing you're gonna need to do is get a magazine paper. As you tear it out, try and tear out the magazine so that you have a fairly straight edge right here. Doesn't have to be perfect though. This is good enough. Then you're going to fold it, fold one edge to the other edge. So you create like this triangle shape here at the top. Ta-da! Then after you do that, you're going to start creating kind of just a long strip. So basically what you're gonna do is you're just gonna keep folding it like I'm doing here. Notice that I'm really taking my time creasing it. And as I fold it, I wanna make sure I'm consistent with the width, how thick I'm folding it. So I don't wanna fold it skinny like this and then go back and do this the next time, because that's not gonna look right. So very patiently, I make those folds until I get to the very end of the magazine paper. Now once I have a little tiny corner like this hanging out, I put a little dot of glue at the end so that it kind of stays in place here. I'm gonna make several of these. I would probably start out with 5 or so, and then I'll show you once you have a couple of these made, what you do to actually build this form here. Okay, so I have my strips, and one thing you wanna look for with your strips is that they're about the same thickness. So when I make that first fold, I really pay attention to how thick I'm making it, and I look at my earlier examples and make sure that I'm making it about the same size. Now we're gonna begin rolling it into a spiral like you see here. So the first one is the toughest one to do because you have to get it really tight. So I'm just gonna make some tiny little folds here at one end. And then there's different ways to do it. For me, I kind of like to get it started, and then I'll start to hold the center of it as I kind of pull it tight across. So you'll see that here in just a second. So now that I have it, I just keep wrapping it around. You do want it to be tight. Don't put any glue here. It's important that there's not glue holding it together, and you'll see why with my later example. So I'm just gonna keep creating my spiral here. And then once I get to the end, where I have this little piece sticking out, I do add just a little bit of glue here at the end and attach it to itself. Now that glue is not going to hold right away, so I also like to take a little bit of tape to just hold it in place. I tear the tape so that you can't even see it. You don't want the tape or the glue to get here, only here on this edge. Now I'm gonna then take my next magazine paper, add a little bit of glue and tape if I feel like it's not gonna hold. Whoops. And then I just continue wrapping it around. And I'll do that, yeah, I probably need some tape. I'll do that with all of the magazines that I have made until I need to make more. And you're gonna see your spiral get bigger and bigger and bigger. Gonna create like a little disc tape and glue in place, repeat. Once it gets a little bit bigger, here I have this one to kind of show you. So you'll make a disc that's really big, even bigger than this, but you get to push it out, and that is actually what makes your bowl shape. So this would sit on the table, you could keep something in it, and once it's big enough, you really do have a bowl. And we'll paint it with a special type of material called Mod Podge to kind of seal it so that it's not going to collapse in and out like this one will. All right, have fun.